Coming up on Q30 News, a Quinnipiac email chain causes chaos.
And our very own university president closes the stock market.
These stories, plus a list of the top university towns is revealed. The news starts now. Good evening, Quinnipiac, and welcome to the Q30 Nightcast. I'm Taylor Popolars.
And I'm Ryan O'Grady. An email chain was sent on Saturday night to all undergraduates. Tessa McKinley has the latest.
And quite unusual in Quinnipiac students' inboxes. A Quinnipiac student hacked the email system on Saturday night, leaving many students frustrated and annoyed.
For me, it was actually pretty obnoxious just because of the fact that what it turned into for me was everyone was just trying to be more clever than the last person who sent the email.
The email message contained a party invitation for students still on campus for Easter weekend.
I'm just glad I didn't have a smartphone because it would keep digging every 2 seconds.
John Morgan, the Associate Vice President for Public Relations, says the university is still investigating. For updates on the situation, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Q30 Television. For Q30, Tessa McKinley.
And a special guest rang the NASDAQ stock market closing bell earlier today. It was none other than our very own President John Leahy. Mr. Leahy had the privilege of ringing the bell with program co-chairs Bob Froelich and David A. Sauer. Also, Quinnipiac University's Global Asset Management Education had the opportunity to interact with industry leaders and learn the practices in investment management.
And back here on campus, the Senior Class Gift Committee hosted its kickoff event for the class of 2013. Seniors enjoyed free food from Tonino's, Moe's Mexican Grill, and Side Street. There was also a raffle to win a free ticket to Senior Week, which takes place on May 16th. Those who attended made a donation for student scholarships. And Quinnipiac senior Mark Fermani is on his way to Morocco to study Arabic this summer after being awarded the Critical Language Scholarship. The scholarship is very competitive and an incentive of the U.S. government to expand the number of Americans mastering foreign languages. Fermani went up against many students from prestigious institutions around the nation. He looks forward to living in a completely different cultural environment and bringing what he learns back with him to the United States.
The job market is tough, and nobody knows that more than recent college graduates. Many of them have decided that having a job is better than having a job in their field. Kara Spawn has more on the subject.
This is Matt Corson, and this is what a typical day looks like for him. But after graduation last May, until a little while ago, his days were looking pretty different.
I got a job as a photographer working essentially freelance. It was the first job I could find, and it just did not pan out for me. I was not making enough money. It was a terrible decision. I really should have just stayed and waited for something that was better for long term.
In a study titled Chasing the American Dream, Recent College Graduates and the Great Recession, it is obvious that Matt is not alone in his choice to take whatever job he could find. In fact, 42% of the study participants said they took their first job just to get by, while only 22% considered their first job a career, and 36% considered it a stepping stone to a career.
It was just a job to get me by. It was really the first opportunity I had to work, and I thought it sounded much better in my mind than when I actually started doing it, you know. I thought it was going to be awesome. I was taking pictures of cars, working at a BMW Mercedes dealership, but it ended up just being horrible.
According to the study, Chasing the American Dream, Recent College Graduates and the Great Recession, Matt was in the majority for the reason he took his first job. But now he's in the minority because he left it. 34% of the participants still work at their first job, and 27% stayed for 2 years or more. 15% stayed between 1 and 2 years, 12% stayed for 6 months to a year, and only 11% stayed for less than 6 months. Matt says that he's doing all that he can to find a lasting career, but the job market is just really tough. Clara Spawn, Q30 News.
Coming up on the news, are flu shots as effective as everyone would like to believe?
And how much food is really wasted worldwide every year?
And Q30's Samantha Plord looks into the economic effects of drinking alcohol.
These stories and more are on the way.
You're watching Q30 News. We'll be right back.
A study that studies other studies? That's exactly what the University of Minnesota did when analyzing the effectiveness of the flu shots. Tatiana Shams-Costa has more.
Do you ever wonder how effective those flu vaccines really are?
I don't trust it.
Well, you may not be the only one.
They could be experimenting on us. We don't know.
Conspiracy theory or not, there's still some debate regarding the effectiveness of the annual flu shots and who benefits from it. Dr. Sid Spiesel explains.
It's very hard. It's actually very hard to measure immunity and to guess what's going to be more effective under what circumstances.
And it's hard because much of the efficacy of the flu vaccines is half science and half prediction.
So when we're looking to see what vaccines are likely to be causing flu in America this winter, we'll be looking and seeing what vaccines were causing flu in Australia in their winter, which was our summer, our last summer.
But sometimes prediction can be off.
If you've guessed right, you get pretty good. And again, there's some studies that the problem is that in jamming all the studies together, some years we don't guess right.
This study suggests that more research is needed because protection against the flu may be reduced and even absent in some seasons, especially for the elderly.
The vaccine is effective 70% of the time. There's still people that decide not to get it, either because they're worried or just because they don't understand it.
I know people who have taken it and they were healthy, and the next day they were in bed for who knows how long.
Others rely on faith.
I know that they're, they can be beneficial, but I just wash my hands and pray.
And others certainly appreciate the benefits of the flu vaccine.
I took my mother's advice, got it, and did not get the flu this season.
So until they don't find what makes flu vaccines really effective,
we really want all family members to get the shot, not only to protect themselves, but to protect children, to protect their grandparents. So would I recommend the vaccine? You bet I do.
For Q30 News, I'm Tatiana Shams.
Food waste is a critical problem for our generation. The United Nations estimated that 1.3 billion tons of food are thrown out every year. This waste of food also leads to the waste of money and natural resources. The food that is being discarded usually ends up in landfills, which produces greenhouse gases. Consumer Watch suggests to start a compost pile instead of throwing out your food. Unwanted food can also be donated to local shelters. And each year, thousands of lives are lost to excessive drinking. As terrible as the loss of life is, the economic costs are even greater. Our own Samantha Plord takes a look.
Excessive alcohol consumption is not just a death sentence to our health. It's also killing our wallets. 79,000 lives are lost each year to excessive drinking, but the full price that society pays is even greater. A study done in 2011 looked at the economic impact of excessive alcohol consumption in the U.S. Researchers found that drinking in excess costs Americans $223.5 billion each year. In real terms, that's about an extra $1.90 per drink. But just where does all that extra spending go?
If you get drunk, get in a car accident, there's all sorts of quote-unquote economic activity that happens around that. There's going to be medical expenses, someone gets injured, they have to go see a doctor, so that's spending in the sense of adding to GDP.
Now, while excessive alcohol consumption certainly stimulates the economy, it's not the type of spending that we like to contribute to.
Excessive drinking occurs, it forces us to divert spending towards activities that, in a perfect world, we wouldn't want to spend them on.
Things like lost productivity, healthcare, and criminal justice costs all come out of our pockets because of the spending associated with excess drinking. And it's got some people wondering why we have to pay for others' poor choices.
Because other people do what they do, it kind of ruins it for the rest of us.
Ruining our bank accounts for things we would much rather spend on our hard-earned cash.
You'd rather have the money left to, spend on trips to, say, Disney World or something like that, but you can't because you're stuck spending, having higher taxes to support the cops and the hospitals and the emergency services to take care of people, for example, who get hurt in car accidents.
It's not just drinking that is creating this unnecessary spending. Other risky behaviors like smoking and overeating are also costing Americans more and more money each year. Perhaps the only effective way to one day reduce it is alcohol education. Samantha Plord, Q30 News.
Coming up after the break, the top college towns are revealed.
And a world record is broken by a young girl. Plus, our own Jessica Simpson has the world news.
Keep it tuned to Q30. We'll be right back. A new world record has been broken. On Saturday, 10-year-old Sophia Lucia broke the world record for consecutive pirouettes with 55 turns. The previous world record was held by Alicia Clifton with 36 consecutive turns. Lucia has been dancing since she was 2 years old. She has made appearances on The Ellen DeGeneres Show, America's Got Talent, and most recently, the Lifetime series Dance Moms. And a new animal has taken the spotlight on the dance floor. Take a look at Ronan, a sea lion from California who is bobbing her head to the beat of her favorite tunes. Researchers taught Ronan how to nod her head in time with rhythmic sounds. Ronan has also learned to transfer the skills to music she has never heard before, like a song by the Backstreet Boys. The sea lion was rescued in 2008 after being stranded on a... So, I don't know about you, but how was your Easter?
My Easter was very nice. I got to go home. I
know, me too.
Yeah, it was great. I actually sing at a church over Easter, or sing
nice.
whenever I'm home, so I was very religious, and I was at
There
a lot of church services.
There you go. That's really nice, though.
And I actually saw on the news, kind of relating to the whole religion thing,
right.
The Pope had his big, elaborate
I saw that too.
Easter ceremony, and there was this disabled man, or he might have been like a young child,
yep.
and his family handed him up to the Pope, and the Pope
kissed him.
Oh
my God. I'm sure Jessica Simpson has some more, so over to World News.
Thanks, guys. Now that it's April, people around the world are recognizing Autism Awareness Month to promote the campaign to improve the lives of people with the disorder. Autism is a developmental disability that affects 1 in every 88 children, but has no medical detection or cure. In honor of World Autism Awareness Day, some major cities lit up monumental buildings in the color blue in light of the group Autism Speaks. These buildings include the Sydney Opera House in Australia and the Empire State Building in New York City. And in Canada, a man and his dog are responsible for the rescue of 2 young girls who fell through the ice of a river. Adam Shaw ran to the scene of the incident after hearing the 2 girls screaming for help. He reached in and helped one of the girls to safety, but her sister had been swept too far offshore for him to rescue her. That's when Adam says the real hero stepped in. His dog Rocky leapt into the water and allowed the girl to hold onto his leash as he swam back to shore. Rescuers arrived at the river and rushed the girls to a nearby hospital. They say if Rocky hadn't been there to help, it would have been too late. And there was an emotional moment over at the Vatican this Easter when Pope Francis embraced and kissed a disabled boy during the celebrations. The new Pope celebrated his first Easter Mass and then proceeded to make his way through the crowd in St. Peter's Square. The crowd lifted up young Dominic Andreu as the Pope passed by, and the Pope embraced him with a hug and a kiss. The boy's mother says it was a surprising and unexpected way to end their Easter Sunday Mass, but it was very beautiful to see. And that's all we have for World News. I'm Jessica Simpson. Now back to the desk.
I really hope so. I'm ready for summer. I don't know about you.
It's still freezing out.
I know, but then it gets warm for
it's
a couple
like a
hours
tease,
of the day.
And that's why everybody on campus is sick. And
exactly, because the temperature keeps changing.
Confusing.
It's very tough.
I just don't, it's April now.
Right?
This time last year, we were in 80-degree weather.
It was
Everybody was out on the quad, and it was great.
Right. It was.
I really hope it comes soon, because I'm ready to set out on the quad.
I'm more than ready.
85-degree weather, put some sunglasses
wonderful.
on.
For May weekend, if it was warm, that would be amazing.
And I think our own Matt Morris is going to tell us what to expect in the next coming weeks with the forecast. Matt?
Welcome back, Bobcats. I'm Matt Morris with your Q30 weather update. I'm going to head on over to the Weather Center right now as we pull up our local numbers. Right now, we've got 42 in Windsor Locks, 42 also in New Milford, 44 in Meriden, moving down towards the water, 46 in New Haven with 45 in Groton. As we zoom on out to our national forecast, we can see 65 in San Francisco and 63 in Los Angeles. You'll also notice all those cold temperatures towards the Midwest because of the jet stream that's dipping down from Canada. Okay, we've got 79 in Miami, but only 48 in Dallas because of the cold weather coming in from Canada. We've got 51 in Washington and 46 in New York. Now we can see on our radar that we've got nice clear radar, but we also have that precipitation coming in from the south. As the jet stream moves up to make room for warmer weather tomorrow, we're also going to bring that precipitation up towards us in Connecticut towards the weekend. As we go to our tonight forecast, it'll be chilly and windy, 28 degrees. Wind will be northwest at 30 miles per hour. Tomorrow, we can expect sunny, 53, much warmer than today. I'm really looking forward to it. The winds will be southwest, at 15 miles per hour. And our 7-day forecast looks like a gorgeous day tomorrow, much warmer than today. Nice on Friday, too, with a high of 56. A little bit of rain late Friday into Saturday, clearing up by the morning. A great day for the big event. High of 53 Saturday. Very warm next week, hitting 60 finally. A little bit of cloud cover coming in on Monday, but a great week ahead. I'm Matt Morris. That's your Q30 weather update. Now back to the desk.
Thanks, Matt. So now, have you heard about Jay-Z's newest business venture?
I actually have. He's pretty amazing with all the things that he gets into. But
he really is.
Isn't it with Robinson Cano?
That's what I've heard. He's signed on as his manager, so that should be a deadly duo. I'm sure they'll be amazing together.
There was a lot of coverage of it on SportsCenter, and there were actually pictures of them like signing the contract and drinking champagne.
I saw that on Twitter actually.
Yeah.
I saw Jay-Z. I follow Jay-Z on Twitter. I saw that he tweeted that, and
everything he
impressive.
does is fabulous. So it didn't shock me that he had champagne there.
It's incredibly true. So
but, yeah, it was pretty controversial because he literally had this amazing manager that he had beforehand and just picked up and left. You know.
Wow.
But I think we're going to hear more about it now. We're going to switch it over to Chelsea and Naliana. Girls.
Jay-Z is expanding his already vast empire. That's right, the rapper's entertainment company, Roc Nation, launched a sports management firm Tuesday.
New York Yankees second baseman Robinson Cano is its first client. Jay-Z is excited about this new venture because of his profound love of sports. It's official, pregnant. This simple tweet caused the Twitter sphere to blow up with opinions. None other than Lindsay Lohan posted this supposed pregnant tweet at 10:35 p.m. on April 1st. Some see it as an outright hoax, while others took this as a new way to poke fun at her. Lohan's substance abuse and legal troubles would not make her Mother of the Year. Because this was said on April Fool's Day, it may be a joke. Lohan has not yet said if the tweet was legitimate or not.
Fans of MTV's Buck Wild were shocked this week by the death of one of its stars, Shane Gandy. Gandy, his uncle, and another man were found dead in their car after they had been drinking the night before. Patrons of the bar said the three had told people they were driving off-road. Officers concluded the three men died of carbon monoxide poisoning. No foul play is suspected. Friends of the family say the Gandys are having trouble getting money for a funeral. They plan to hold a fundraiser, Mud Run, which is an off-roading competition. That's it for entertainment news. I'm Neliana Ferraro.
I'm Chelsea Barada. Now back to the front desk.
Very sad story coming out of West Virginia with the death of Shane Gandy. But on a much higher and almost uplifting note, as everyone knows, Quinnipiac's men's hockey team is headed to the Frozen Four.
It's amazing.
I'm
making
trying
history.
to get to that
game. I don't even like hockey. I don't even like hockey, and I'm so amazed by this right now. I would love to go to the game. I really would.
I know there are fan buses going down, and there are all these like hookups with hotel rooms and ticket prices and everything. So hopefully there's a good crowd to represent the team.
Can you imagine if they won the whole thing?
Oh, that would be unreal, especially for their first time getting to it.
It would be absolutely amazing. I can't even imagine
phenomenal.
What it would be like.
And the coverage that we've been having for our school because of this is amazing. Matthew Pecca all over SportsCenter.
Exactly.
He's becoming a legend, and it's
putting the Bobcats on the map.
It really is.
We deserve it, and I think it's great.
And now we're going to throw it over to Christina to tell us more about that. Christina?
Thanks, guys. Quinnipiac faced Union for its third time this year on Sunday. Forward Matthew Pecca recorded the fastest hat trick in NCAA tournament history with 3 goals in the span of 3 minutes and 12 seconds. Jordan Samuels-Thomas delivered the 4th goal of the game, putting Quinnipiac on top with the 4-0 lead. Kalantanis also increased QU's lead to 5-0 during the second period. Quinnipiac never looked back after Pekka's hat trick, defeating Union with the 5-1 final score. The Bobcats will be traveling to Pittsburgh to face St. Cloud State on Thursday, April 11th at 8 p.m. Tickets to the NCAA Men's Ice Hockey Frozen Four will go on sale to the public on Thursday, April 4th, 2013 on phone or by visiting the TD Bank Sports Center ticket office. QU student tickets will be $50 with your QU ID. There will also be a fan bus to travel to the NCAA tournament. You can find more information by going to the Quinnipiac Bobcats website. Both games will be nationally televised on ESPN2 for those proud Bobcat fans that cannot be in attendance. And the Quinnipiac Acrobatics and Tumbling team fell to the University of Oregon Ducks on Monday, March 25th. With the loss of the Bobcats, they fell to 3-2 on the season. Though the Bobcats did not come away with the victory at their meet, they did outlast the Oregon Ducks in the Pyramid event. Quinnipiac will look to bounce back into action this Saturday, April 6th, when they face Fairmont State to Hampton. The meet will start at 1 p.m. at the TD Bank Sports Center. The Bobcats will be honoring 3 graduating seniors. And opening day has finally arrived. Baseball season is here again. All hail the national pastime. The spring-loaded Major League Baseball switch was turned on Sunday night when the Houston Astros made their American League debut. This celebration of a season could not begin across the country without remembering one of our nation's saddest tragedies, December's Sandy Hook school shooting. Players and teams dedicated their opening day games to the victims, and all Major League players, managers, coaches, umpires, and on-field personnel wore a ribbon patch on their uniforms to honor those who lost their lives or their loved ones on December 14, 2012. Fans all over the country remembered those lost, as well as rejoiced for the new 2013 season, and all of the promises begins with it. Baseball is here, almost every day for 6 months. Even those who follow teams that will disperse well before Columbus Day, it's here again, and with its return comes the return of daily structure for those consumed with everything it brings.
Thanks, Christina. Well, that'll do it for Q30 News tonight.
If you would like to get involved in Q30 News, please visit our website at www.q30.org and visit our Facebook and Twitter pages. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week with the latest in local and Quinnipiac news.
Have a good night.